We are back on Get Up, bottom of the hour, and it is the worst named segment in television. It is definitely or definitely not. Well, what happened is Jeff is a prima donna. He was mad that Neek has all these segments named
So
after
many
him.
cool names.
So the best thing we could come up with.
The most dangerous that can even be said on air. You have all the cool ones.
Your name is Saturday. Like, we've made so many puns with Saturday. Like,
That's where you failed.
And yet he was still upset. So here we go. All right, Jeff, let's start with this. Are the Chiefs better than they were last year when they went 15-2? Definitely or definitely not?
Definitely. Most definitely. And it's as a Colts apologist on this show, this is the scariest team in the AFC. And why? Because Rashee Rice coming back worthy. They can actually run the ball decently when all of the other stuff opens up. This is, and they go to the Super Bowl every year. So this is definitely.
Peter, the word I used was sort of an air of inevitability about it, right?
Yeah.
It feels that way.
And that's how they felt. They never were wavering when they started off with those early season losses and a bad loss to Jacksonville on the road. I thought the world was melting. You talk to Chiefs sources, like, hang tight, it's September, we'll be just fine. Sure enough, they looked good on Sunday, and everyone's scared about them in the league. And
they should be.
The return of that man is obviously enormous for Rashee Rice. All right, Jeff, the next one. Are you convinced Daniel Jones can carry your Colts all the way to the Super Bowl? Definitely or definitely not?
Definitely. Definitely.
Yeah.
Indiana Jones carrying them to the. Absolutely, we got this thing going. I've said this a number of times. This is a well-balanced football team. They have the most dominant offensive line in the league right now, especially their left side of their offensive line. They are literally mauling people, which just brings me such joy.
I would like to
Jonathan Taylor's balling.
To the state of Indiana and the Colts, because Jeff is making you guys unlikable. Because the way he comes in here and just has been going on and on and on, and we get
Who's your hospitality loves?
But they're that good. I mean,
They're that good.
loves
Yes.
good.
Jeffrey.
Yeah, but none of us can say it because he's taking all
They
the
wanna say
oxygen
it.
in the
They
room to
just-
say
yeah.
it.
Let's say it for what it is.
They are.
The world doesn't trust Daniel Jones yet. That's what it's
so
about.
this is my question. At what point can a quarterback shed the narrative that he's been labeled with?
In the playoffs.
Yeah.
I think he's going to have to do it in a playoff game before I'll say, oh, yeah, sure. You know what I mean? Like Sam Darnold.
And also, I think also like a primetime game against a big opponent when we're all watching it and Jonathan Taylor doesn't have a good game.
And
those are the things that we need to see happen. So it's gonna follow him around.
I don't need to see that. I want to have Jonathan Taylor have good games the whole time.
But he's leaning into it. I mean, Evan Washburn's interviewing him after the game, and you never get a spicy quote out of Daniel Jones. They're like, do you feel disrespected? Well, y'all can say what you want to say. Like, he's leaning into it, so it might be a different Daniel Jones than we
No!
Even Daniel Jones saying, Evan had asked him, like, those of us on the outside may not have realized what you guys had cooking. He's like, you guys haven't been paying attention, obviously. And that's what you love. The fact that he's so spicy now shows that he is confident.
Got a playoff
and
win under his
feels
belt.
good in this situation.
It's true. 60% of the time, it's pretty good.
Yeah, but that was with a team that we all thought it was a miracle they were in the playoffs.
One score.
This is a team that might go in as the 1 seed. You know, I think the expectations are a little different.
I couldn't.
All right, last
could not
one.
be better.
Last one. Is Dak Prescott the best quarterback in the NFL right now? Definitely or definitely not?
Ooh, Jeff a maybe. Jeff a maybe. Jeff a maybe. I create all kind of words with my name.
Jeff a maybe.
There you go.
Green.
I like it.
I like that.
I like it. Jeff a maybe. So I love Dak Prescott. Here we showed the splits earlier in the show. They are really good at home. They can light it up. They go on the road. The only team they beat on the road is the Jets. Matt Stafford has absolutely balled. I mean, you could talk about Darnold has balled. We can go. I mean, there are too many quarterbacks who are playing at an ultimate level to just label Dak Prescott the best right now.
For those of you who've been with Get Up a long time, you are aware that Dominique Foxworth is a member of the extended Prescott family.
Oh, cousin Dak is back, man.
We haven't had those conversations, and this is the best he's ever played. Whether he's the best in the league or not is different.
Yeah.
This is the best he's ever played.
We weren't cousins for a couple years there. Cousin Dak is back, boy. This is incredible. He's playing as high as or as well as anyone in football. Maybe maybe he's the best, but he's definitely one of the best.
No
and
doubt.
I think that no one could argue with that. The way that he improves this offense by putting them in the right plays, changing the protections, making sure that they are set up for success every time down the field, and then follow it with the most accurate passes in the league right now, picking apart teams down the center of the defense, which is something that feels like a lost art in the NFL. So many quarterbacks are afraid of the middle of the field right now. Dak Prescott eats there and then goes outside.
Think about what we were talking about earlier. Are the Cowboys one move away
Are
from
they?
being No. But the fact that that question is even being raised speaks to how well Dak has this team run. When we really thought, oh, well, Michael's gone, who knows what they're going to be.
Let me make my case that the Cowboys are, and you're, this is the time, what are we, 2 weeks from the trade deadline? Something like that. So some stuff has happened, and Jerry has sort of hinted he might be willing to do that. This offense is that good. I mean, they're that good. If they just get anything on defense, right? Their defense has been among the worst, if not the worst, in the league for most of the season. So if they just get a player here or a player there, God help us if they were really getting someone like Max Crosby, but someone that they can just every now and again force a fumble, get a big sack in a big spot, force a quarterback to throw a bad ball and get an interception. Just make 1 or 2 plays a game. That offense might be good enough to carry them.
And they got those plays on Sunday. And that's the glimmer of hope here, that if Deron Bland can get a pick six like he was getting 2 years ago and Dan Quinn's running down the field with him, that they could hang in these games. Because guess what? Jerry Jones, they're all in New York City right now. They're at the Polo Bar last night, I'll tell you that. They're all out there. It's the league meetings. Everyone's celebrating the Cowboys because why? They paid Dak the money. He's playing great. They paid CeeDee Lamb. He's playing great. And George Pickens has up. So if we get anything from the defense, we're going to be talking about them in January.
Can I just say this? Because sometimes you drive me crazy. One of these times, yes. Of the Cowboys. You realize that the teams they have lost to on the road, the Panthers
are over 500.
And the Bears.
Also over 500.
Okay, but they have to compete.
That's for shorts. I like
so
this.
Listen, unless they win their division, they've already lost those games to potential. I mean, the Bears are in a gauntlet of but wild card. When you start talking about, there's so many things that have to go their way. It's not just one. They would have to completely flip it to make it happen.
What's the standard?
So if there's one thing that I think we can say is you agree with me.
Absolutely not.
Wait, I got
Definitely not.
Definitely agrees with me. All right, let's get to college football and burning questions. We got a very interesting weekend ahead of us here, people. And we got interesting people to answer the questions. We got Jordan Rogers. We got Paul Feinbaum as we get set for big games this weekend. And Jordan, I'm starting with you. Alabama, Ty Simpson. Is he the best quarterback in college football right now?
He absolutely is. And Greeny, I'm running out of breakdowns to do on this kid. I've talked about how good he is outside the pocket creating. I've talked about how good he is between the ears. This is what I love, his ability to manipulate the pace and trajectory of football. We call this level 1, level 2, and level 3 throws. Level 1, this is your fastball, going through 2 different reads, getting to the backside dig, and ripping it on a line, on time, in rhythm. He's done that so well. Now the level 2 ball, it still has to have velocity, but you have to have a little trajectory with it too, because you got a defender underneath, so it can't be a fastball. It's got to be a changeup, dropping that right over the top of the defender in tight coverage to Ryan Williams. Great job. And then level 3, this is the touch throw. This is a fade to the outside. It's not as far as you can throw it. Put air on it, but be accurate. You got to drop this ball in a bucket, and he does that again in tight coverage. Do not get arm talent confused with arm strength. He does a great job at ease of manipulating the trajectory and pace of the football. Other guys can do it, but the consistency and accuracy that he does it with is something special, Greeny.
It's a really good tape. All that I do the podcast with Mel and Field, and everyone is starting to come around to this way of thinking. And then, Paul, let's come to you. After they lost that game, the opener against Florida State, I can't imagine either of us thought we'd be having this conversation. But is Alabama the team to beat in the SEC?
Absolutely, yes. And Greeny, 8 weeks ago, there was talk about what are we going to do with Kalen DeBoer's buyout. Right now, he has done one of the most phenomenal turnaround jobs I have ever seen in college football. And Jordan mentioned it, it's really about Ty Simpson. His defense is still playing at a high level, but he has so many weapons, and he has just brought a calmness and a coolness to this team. And the main reason I think they are winning more this year than last is Ryan Grubb. He originally signed with DeBoer last year, then decided to go to Seattle. He's back now, and he is the difference in this football team.
Paul, the next coach I want to ask you about is Brian Kelly. He's the reason you're on the show today. We were having a conversation in the post show yesterday. The topic just came up. Someone threw out the question, could Brian Kelly be coaching for his job this weekend? And I said, I don't know, but I know one person I want to ask that question to. Paul, is the coach at LSU coaching for his job?
Greeny, if the callers to our show yesterday had a vote, he would be coaching for his job, but they do not yet. This is not the most critical game of the year. Now, this game could knock him out of the playoffs. And remember, 8 weeks ago, we were talking about CFP or bust for Brian Kelly. This would be loss number 3, but it's also an opportunity to beat a top 3 team at home in front of those very, very disgruntled fans. But the problem for Brian Kelly after this weekend is 2 weeks from now at Alabama and then later in the season at Oklahoma. Should he lose this game and lose those 2, I don't see he has a path to coming back next year.
That's a monster game, obviously, Saturday night. You'll see it on ABC. Jordan, how about it quickly? Your thoughts on Brian Kelly at LSU?
Yeah, not yet. Look, I think another thing you got to think about is you got job openings at Florida, Penn State, Arkansas, UCLA. This is not the cycle to jump in and compete when you have Brian Kelly sitting there. Give him some time. It's going to get rough this season. You got to win one of these against Bama, A&M, and Oklahoma to save some face, but I think pump the brakes. He's still a really good coach.
All right, and then let me throw quickly in here the last one because you just touched on it. We've had a lot of firings already in some very high-profile places, Paul, including in the last 2 weeks, Penn State and Florida. In your mind, which of those is the more attractive coaching job? If a high-profile coach has his choice, which one do you think he takes?
I think Florida is easily the best choice. Florida can win national championships, Greeny. They've done it 3 times, really, since the 90s. 1 with Spurrier, 2 with Urban Meyer. You have to go back to yesteryear for Penn State, really back to the 80s. Penn State's a very good job. Florida is better, and keep your eyes on Lane Kiffin for the Florida job.
Oh, okay. Well, I knew there was another reason I wanted to make that call yesterday. Keep your eyes on Lane Kiffin, says Paul Feinbaum, Jordan Rogers. Outstanding work, both of you guys. Thank you very much. We're rolling along here on Get Up Live this morning. Jalen Hurts and the Eagles found their wings on Sunday, but A.J. Brown has left fans confounded by another cryptic message. You'll see it, and we'll try and get to the bottom of it if we can. But first, we got Sneaky Hembo for Schrager. Here we go, Peter. Which active head coach in the NFL has secured the most #1 seeds coaching an NFC team? Active coach, 1 seeds, NFC. Answer next.
I got it. Got it.